What is the Spook Secret? It's also the title of the third book in the series. John Gregory takes Tom Ward up onto Anglesort Moor, where they spend time in his winter house, and there he learns that John Gregory is in love with a Lamia witch. Meg is a slow shapeshifter. Most of the time, she looks human, but for a line of green and yellow scales down her back. She can change into a feral Lamia witch, something that runs around on all fours, can jump on you and crunch your bones and drink your blood. The Lamia witch is only part of the story. The main opponent for Tom and the spook is Morgan. Morgan is an ex-apprentice who has now gone to the dark. This is a confrontation between Tom Ward and Morgan. You'll have had some dealings with the dead, says Morgan. But now I'm going to add to your knowledge and add into it significantly. Why would you want to do that? I challenged. Mr. Gregory's teaching me all I need to know. First things first, Tom, Morgan replied. Let's talk about ghosts first. What do you know about them? I decided to humour him. Maybe if I let him get what he wanted to say off his chest, I could be on my way to the spook's house. Well, most ghosts are bound close to the bones, others to the place where they either suffered or committed some terrible crime while still on Earth. They aren't free to wander at will. Well done, Tom, Morgan said, an edge of mockery back in his voice. And I bet you've written it all down in your notebook too, like a good little apprentice. Well, here's something that old fool wanna taught you. He wanna mentioned it because he doesn't like to think about it. So here's the big question. Where do the dead go after death? And I don't mean bound ghosts and gas. I mean the other dead, the vast majority, like your father. At the mention of my dad, I sat up straight and stared hard at Morgan. What do you know about my dad? I said angrily. How did you know he was dead? All in good time, Tom. All in good time. I have powers your master can only dream about. But you haven't answered my question. Where do the dead go after death? The church says heaven, hell, purgatory, or limbo, I replied. I'm not sure about that, but Mr. Gregory never talks about it, but I believe the soul survives death. Purgatory was a place where souls went to be cleansed, suffering until they were fit to enter heaven. Limbo was more mysterious. Priests thought that those who weren't baptized went there. It was supposed to be for souls that weren't really evil, but through no real fault of their own, weren't fit to enter heaven. What does the church know? Morgan said, a sneering tone entering his voice. That's about the only thing old Gregory and I do agree on. But you see, Tom, of the four places you've just mentioned, limbo is by far the most useful for somebody like me. It takes its name from the Latin word limbus, which means edge or fringe. You see, wherever they're heading, the majority of the dead first have to pass through limbo, which is on the edge of the world, and some find it very hard to do. So the weak, the fearful and the guilty retreat, falling back into this world to become ghosts, joining the lingerers who are already trapped on Earth. They are the easiest to control. But even the strong and the good must struggle and fight to pass through limbo. It takes time, and while they're delayed, I have the power to reach any soul there that I choose. I can stop it passing on. I can make it do what I want, if need be. I can make it suffer. The dead have had their lives. It's over for them, but we are still living. We can use them. We can profit from them. I want what Gregory owes me. I want his house in Chippenden with that big library of books that contain so much knowledge. And then there's something else, something even more important, something that is stolen from me. He has a grimoire, a book of spells and rituals, and you're gonna help me to get it back. And in return, you can continue your apprenticeship with me training you, and I'll teach you those things he's never even dreamed of. I'll put real power at your fingertips. And that's not all. What he wants the book for, the grimoire, is to raise one of the old gods, Golgoth, the Lord of Winter. who will bring a new ice age to the world. And that is what Tom and the Spook will strive to prevent. Thank you. And here are the three books that start the Wardstone Chronicles: The Spook's Apprentice, The Spook's Curse, and The Spook's Secret.